What's up everybody, Chad here for yet another Taco Tuesday, and today we're going to be going over Orange Virus Tuning's 1.05 performance modifications. So, Matthew Wilson from Orange Virus Tuning has come out with another version of 1.05 that is managed through a new Flash Manager, which makes things really easy on your computer to just have all the tunes there at your hand that you can download and then put them straight onto your truck. And as long as you have them loaded onto the Flash Manager, you can just switch as needed pretty much. So the ones that I have loaded on there are the 87 tune and the 93 tune. There's no 91 around here, unfortunately, but that's okay because I'm either going to be driving, a little bit more subdued, or when I have the 93 octane tune like I have loaded on my truck right now, it is in the performance modification mode. So the performance 1.05 version raises the Redline to 6,900 RPM instead of 6,000, and out of those extra 900 rotations that you get out of the engine, you can squeeze out some more power. So on the 93 one, you get between 40 and 46 extra horsepower, and it's definitely felt up in the upper end, and I do have a clip of that we're going to be showing you guys today. But that extra red line is only limited to the first couple gears, and then it has the regular fuel cutoff and red line thereafter, because at that point you'd be going some crazy speed, because according to the forums on Tacoma World, you can reach 70 miles an hour in the top of second gear. So I mean, that's still pretty fast. That's a lot faster than you could do in the original Toyota stock tune. And 1.05 obviously has transmission tuning, engine tuning, all that stuff that we've already gone over. And I must say, the performance tune is really awesome, but it's definitely a little too aggressive for town. The tip-in is just a little too much. It's definitely one of those that you would want to load onto the truck if you wanted to use it for towing your truck, or if you were just really wanting to rip and roar every chance you got. That is definitely what you would have to use. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and show you that clip of me going as fast as I can in first gear. So we'll go ahead and check that out right now. So as you can see, that tune really makes this truck, I guess, kind of, I don't want to say come alive, because the tune does do that in general, but the performance tune for 1.05 really rips. I can't imagine what it would be like on a stock truck, because keep in mind, I do have heavier tires, I have the bed rack on, I have a lift, I have upgraded leaf springs, and in general the truck is just heavier than it once was. So the tune really does kind of help this truck shine in a lot of ways and drive how it should have from the factory. And the added benefit of this 93 octane tune is that you do get some extra power out of it. And Matthew Wilson has actually stated on Tacoma World on the OVTune forums that he has some dyno numbers coming out this week, so we'll be sure to maybe even talk about them. But if anything, there will be some stuff in the description below. I know there are estimated and preliminary numbers that he has posted on the forums and has had graphs that have come from those dyno readings, but every dyno is going to give you a different answer. They're not all quite calibrated the same, and each vehicle is going to be slightly different. Like the dyno numbers that you get out of an identical truck to another one might be different, but especially like if you have the exact same truck that has, say, an automatic transmission, and then you have one that has a manual transmission, it's all very different, because the inner workings of a manual transmission and an automatic transmission are very different. So the power output to the wheels is going to be much different for various reasons, but that could be for a completely different video. Anyways, so if you guys are still on the fence about an Orange Virus tune and whether or not you want to spend $770 for it, I understand. At first I was skeptical as well, but for all the reasons that we've gone through it, and the fact that it's pretty much bulletproof and safe, it's been tested on a Tacoma. Matt Wilson owns a 2017 TRD Pro Tacoma that he does all these tests on, and at the same time, he pretty much has guaranteed it with all the testing that he's done. I'm sure he's flashed his truck way over 500 times with all these different tunes to test things out and really just fine-tune and get all of the calibrations just the way that they need to be, whether it be for 87, 91, 93, and all these different tunes for the manual transmission trucks, automatic transmission trucks. he's done a lot of work ever since the very beginning, and we are so grateful. And the fact that there's these performance tunes in gear lock, which is really, really exciting. Now, gear lock is one that we are definitely going to be testing out and bringing a video to you guys on. And if you don't know what gear lock is, we did kind of already explain it, but in short, it is when you put your truck down into sport mode, hit the ECT power button, and for the automatic transmission truck, make it seem more like a manual transmission, in that when it's in the stock tune form or without the gear lock on, when you have it in S mode, if you keep it in, say, S4, and you're driving along at 40 miles an hour, if you stomp the gas pedal, it'll downshift into third, second, whatever it may be, and then you're on your way. But if you have gear lock engaged and you have that tune set up, when you have it in S mode and you have it in fourth gear, you're going along at 40 miles an hour. If you stomp the gas, it'll stay in fourth gear, just the way it would in a manual transmission. You know how you'd have to press the clutch in, shift it yourself. So it's pretty cool. It'll be one of those that I know people will definitely use for towing, because it can be annoying for people to be driving along and then it's constantly shifting. It needs to, but at the same time, the way he has it set up and how this tune works with the truck, it's fantastic. And if there's anybody that's on the fence about it and lives in the Southwest Virginia area and wants to test drive me or Bandit's truck, we'd be more than happy to meet up with you guys and let you test drive it and see what you think, because it is a night and day difference between this truck that I have now versus the truck that I had a year ago, 2 years ago, back in 2016 when I got the truck. So right now we're going to go ahead and do a test drive kind of just around town, and I'll have the camera right here in the center display so you can just see how everything works together. Again, this is the performance tune. It's going to be a little bit different than, say, the regular bass tune. That's tuned more for MPGs, but also it's going to be a much better experience than it was on stock. So let's check it out. So as you can see from those few short clips, just what 1.05 performance with 93 octane is like. Now, it is very exciting for me behind the wheel because you get to see it, hear it, experience it, and get just a slight adrenaline rush when you see that RPM rise right over 6,000 into the red, where you're like, oh, that's the forbidden zone, you're not supposed to be there. But the tune allows for it, and it is perfectly safe to be raising at just 900 RPM. It's not like we're screaming to 8,000 where the number ends on the tachometer. But anyhow, it is fantastic. Obviously, you can only see so much from the footage that I did show you guys today. Sorry if the video was a little shaky. I had to hold the GoPro by hand. I don't have a mount right here in front of the gauge cluster, but yeah, it's a really, really awesome tune. This truck really shines on it, and I must say the shifts are very, very smooth, especially once you get up to operating temperature. 1.05 really, really refines things, not only with the engine, but the transmission, and the whole driving experience is just amazing, and I guarantee that the same is going to be felt throughout all the tunes. Of course, 93 octane with the performance tune on 1.05 is going to be different from the 93 octane base tune, which is just the MPG tune. Really refines the whole driving experience and tailors it more for MPGs. Obviously, I've not tested that. I have tested the original version of 1.05, but it's been refined even further with various things like ignition timing, valve timing. Everything has been tweaked even further and more refined, and it really gives a much more enjoyable experience. But expect more on 1.05 from Bandit and I. We're going to be doing more testing with it. You can see gear lock, more testing on base, MPG testing, and obviously that's going to be different between our two trucks because we have two completely different setups, and it's going to be different from what some of you guys see on your trucks that I know are tuned versus the ones that aren't tuned. And if you haven't gotten your truck OV-tuned yet, as people are calling it, I would consider doing it if I were you, because I was on the fence, but it was one of the best decisions I ever made for this truck, and honestly, it drives the way it should from the factory. And Matthew Wilson and his whole team of engineers and everybody else that work on this tune and put it together for us, the consumer of these Tacomas, is fantastic. They've done a wonderful job, and the truck is very, very enjoyable to drive. So expect more on all of these tunes, and we'll be testing things out. If you guys want us to do anything specifically with them, let us know in the comments below. Obviously, leave questions, concerns, anything like that there as well. Please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We'll have much more coming out, so you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you next time.